Man, this is a freaky case.
He a fan, he a fan, he a freaky ass.
This is a freaky ass case, bro. Now, I never covered the David case on this page because I was just sitting back waiting for more information to come out because real talk, this case is probably one of the creepiest cases I've heard about in modern times. And a part of me was like, this just can't be real. This all this stuff that's coming out just can't be real. So me personally, I said I'm going to sit down and wait until more information comes out before I start covering it. So, for y'all that don't know, here's the backstory. This guy here named David, he's a singer, and from my understanding, he had a few songs go like super viral on TikTok and essentially became famous. Now, today, right now, he's 20 years old. But this story starts about 2 or 3 years ago when he's around the age of maybe 17, 18. Essentially, what the rumor is. The rumor is he was dating or talking to this young girl by the name of Celeste, who was around the age of 12, 13 at the time, and he was around 17 or 18-ish. And some people are saying, hey, she possibly lied about her age to get close to this young man. Nevertheless, these two allegedly started a romantic relationship. All right. Her parents said she would frequently run away from home and she had a boyfriend by the name of David. What a coincidence. Okay. This girl would show up on live videos with David. She would be at his concert. Yeah, she would be at David's shows. They have matching tattoos. He would write songs about her. These two had a thing going on. All right. That's evident. There was something going on with this young man and this little girl. Something was going on. So I'm going to assume eventually he found out how old she really was because people stated he started to be a lot more discreet with her, a lot more discreet with their relationship, like hiding her and not really like being so out and about. Long story short, the police are speculating that this girl may have been unalived around spring of 2025 and her body was found dismembered in the trunk of his Tesla while he was on tour in like August or September. Crazy. So the police have now officially said that he's a suspect. And what's the craziest thing about this case is they said his tour, his music, everything was all about death and mourning. They said the man had a casket at his tour where you can come in and pay your respects. And they said some nights the man would just randomly just break down crying on stage. I mean, all of this stuff is sounding real freaky and real guilty.
He a fan, he a fan, he a freaky ass.
They found this little girl chopped up in his Tesla while he was on tour. So it's quite obvious that they knew each other. There's pictures, there's videos, and he never once, ever, from what I see, paid his condolences to this young girl who passed away. So all of this shit is freaky and all of this shit is fishy and it's not funny. This is a tragedy that this little girl was failed by so many people. Her parents claimed they called the police when she would go missing. Other people came out and said her parents were mistreating her at home and that's why she consistently ran away from her. Like, yo, it's just everybody just failed this little girl. The police failed her, her parents failed her, everybody failed this little girl. Then there was a rumor that she put on the internet insinuating that she may be pregnant. So you, young man, at the age of 17, 18, 19, may have possibly gotten a 12, 13-year-old pregnant. So people are speculating, hey, did she really get pregnant and he just kind of lost it and he got rid of her? Like, this whole case is crazy. It's crazy. Then people were speculating, hey, maybe she took some bad drugs and overdose and they tried to hide the body. Maybe it wasn't murder. Like, there are so many different stories circulating around this case. And hopefully within the next few weeks, we can get like more tangible updates. But the latest news in this David case is he is officially a suspect. Police are stating, well, insiders are stating that the police are saying this is something that was not done alone. He had to have help or there had to be multiple people involved with dismembering this girl's body, and it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. It's weird. Prayers for her, man. It just sucks how she was failed. TMZ just recently put out an update tonight. Harvey at TMZ. I'm gonna play that for y'all so we can see what the new update is. But yo, just crazy, man. It kind of reminds me of a friend that I went to school with. We were in middle school, and she was kind of one of those kids who would always like be with different boys, and she would run away from home. And luckily she got her life together, but it's just sad, man, that this little 13-year-old girl is gone. But yo, let me pull up this update from TMZ. Harvey just put this up a couple hours ago. Hold on. If y'all don't know, Harvey is like the owner of TMZ, but let's take a look at his update.
Some major developments in the Celeste Rivas death. TMZ has learned that her body had been frozen. And when it was found, it was still partially frozen in the back of David's car. And it was in such bad condition that we are told the medical examiner may never be able to establish the cause of death. So here's what we know. When the body was found, it was in terrible condition. It had been decapitated, the torso was intact, the limbs had been removed, and they were cut up severely. The body was partially frozen in the trunk. And this is really important because remember, the body had been sitting there for days before it was finally impounded and then the body discovered. And it was still, the body parts were still partially frozen. So we are told that when the body first went to the medical examiner's office in early September, it was listed as an apparent homicide, but that was just from what seemed obvious, that the body was cut up into pieces. The medical examiner is having a really tough time right now trying to figure out what the cause of death was. We are told it is likely the cause of death will go undetermined because of the condition of the body and the fact that it was frozen and the fact that it was cut up the way it was. So we have told you that we know David is a suspect, and even if it is undetermined, the LAPD can still move forward, as could the LA County District Attorney. The LAPD is viewing this as a homicide. David is a suspect. We know this. And one of the keys to the case is a trip that authorities say David made in the middle of the night back in the spring to a remote area of Santa Barbara County. We are now also told that there is a second suspect, and our information is that the second suspect has something to do with the cutting up of the body. Now, Mark Garagos, who is my co-host on the Two Angry Men podcast, told us in the most recent podcast that his information is that this second suspect is being looked at not just for dismembering the body, but also for what happened before, during, and after Celeste's death. So there is a second suspect that the LAPD has its sights on. They have identified the person. Garagos says he knows who it is, not saying, but it is a second suspect implicated here. So obviously the question, how on earth did this body go from Santa Barbara, if that's indeed where it was taken? And that seems to be the operating theory of the LAPD, that if it was taken to Santa Barbara, how did it end up back in Los Angeles in the trunk of David's car in a residential neighborhood? The only thing that makes sense, and that's months and months later, the only thing that makes sense is that based on connecting the dots, it would seem that this body was put in a freezer for an extended period of time, and it was so frozen that by the time it got in the car, it took a long, long time for it to unfreeze, and it had not fully unfrozen at the time the body was discovered at the impound lot. So again, it looks like there may never be a cause of death determined by the medical examiner. The body was frozen. Just keep looking at TMZ. We will have more updates as the days pass.
Yo, this is crazy, bro. Like, what? All right, so now the working theory sounds like something happened to her. They put her in the car, took her to this remote area in Santa Barbara where she was dismembered, possibly put into some type of freezer to keep her frozen. But my question is, who went back, got the body, and thought it was a good idea to keep the body in the Tesla? Like, what is going on with this case, man? Look, if it was me, I would just start locking everybody up. Lock him up, lock the manager up, lock his best friends up. Everybody needs to be in jail so somebody can get to talking, because this is the weirdest, strangest case, like I said, I've heard of in modern time. Like, what? Man, this Celeste case, man. Hopefully this little girl can get some justice. I'm not even going to say hopefully her family can get some justice. I don't think her family deserves justice, because why was y'all not out kicking doors down trying to find your child. And don't get me wrong, I listen, another part of me do understand, because sometimes you do have teenagers that you keep trying to bring them home and they just won't go home. They keep running away. And sometimes some families be like, all right, I'm just wiping my hands. You want to get out here in the real world? Go. But God damn, bro. That's just sad. Like, this little girl was potentially being violated, and somebody just dismembered her body and put her in a freezer and left her, and people just went on with their lives like nothing mattered. That's all I got, man. That's all I got.
Legally locked where the truth don't stop. Courtroom drama, we stay on top. Legal cases, law unpacked. Click that play and don't look back. Hit subscribe, you know the vibe. Like my page, get ready to ride. Like my page, get ready to ride.